Welcome back to Leonard Brothers Game. I'm David.
I'm John.
And we're playing more Mario 64.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do a big backwards jump, or unless I can, like, grab on. I forget how to... Unless there's actually probably instructions, like, right here, right in front of me, on how to do this.
The little sign right there?
The little sign right there probably tells me how to,
You don't jump past the sign.
Ah!
Read me. Come on, Mario.
He's like walking all around it, but not looking at it. Look at it. If you jump and hold the A button, you can hang on to objects. Okay, that's what I thought it was. But he's not jumping high enough, so he's got to like do a backwards flip.
Well, can you just jump onto the wall there?
No, okay, it's got to be a double jump. You're way too close, camera. Anyways, continue on with your D&D stories, John.
Okay. D&D stories now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the train, John. Tell me about the train.
Yeah, the train story?
Yeah, tell me the train story.
Right. Well, in the evil campaign, I like steampunk. So, you know, steampunk includes trains, typically. So, I had the group discover a place that was, they discovered Smithville. And Smithville was basically a city of, did I say like 100 warforged?
100 or something like that, yeah.
Well, not just warforged, but 100 different
creatures.
Constructs,
yeah.
Either entirely robotic or living constructs, like the warforged. And various types. Some, like iron golems and other construction sort of things. Mm-hmm. And so... basically, their intent is mining. That's what they do. They search for places to mine. They mine the places. They process all the ore. And then they turn that ore into regular metal, and then they turn that metal into weapons and armor. Not magical types, but still, it is masterwork. They're pretty good. And since there's like 100 of them, mm-hmm. They crank out the weapons pretty quickly. So, but the problem with them, though, was that they were all basically being enslaved by this one guy, by having... coughing everywhere. No. They had necklaces put on them that would basically explode if they were found to be, like, trying to run away or something. So, once the group ends up rediscovering David's former warforge, why are you, like, sumo wrestling this?
You have to punch him off.
Okay. But basically, that's kind of what you're doing, right? It's sumo wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
And the star appears. And it's like, how do I get that star? Oh, these
steps suddenly appear. All right. Anyways, he ends up basically warning you guys that you need to, let's see, break the gate, break the rod, break the box, then break the man.
Yeah.
I think that's what the code was.
Uh-huh.
And so, Manfield Industries was surrounded by a big metal gate that it was slightly electrified. Like, mm-hmm. And it was kind of funny, too, because, like, when I pointed out that you could see the little sparks coming from it, everybody's, like, terrified by wanting to touch it. It's just, like, maybe 5 damage, of mm-hmm. electricity, It's not going to be much, People, come on.
No.
Calm down. Mm-hmm. And yet, everybody's like too terrified. They didn't want to touch it at all. No. And so they kept like, okay, well, let's teleport past it. Let's, find all these other ways to go around it. It's like, you could just try to, break it. I mean, it's a circuit, so,
mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. That's funny.
Poor Mario. Trigger that again. Yeah, there we go.
Woo.
Oh. That was a good hit.
Nice, alright.
Very fortunate. I forget whether there's something over here. No, I guess not. Oh, there's a little health. There's a red heart thing if you run through it, you get more health. I guess if you had fallen or whatever and survived, and it's like, well, I lost a lot of health though, so.
Oh my.
Oh my. So, anyways.
So okay, you're able to get past the electrified fence, and you end up basically Mansfield walks out, or at least the guy who owns this place and claims to be Mansfield walks out and says, "Haha, I'm going to teleport this city away."
Mm-hmm.
And so basically the rod at the top of the center building in this small city, it was intended to allow teleportation.
Mm-hmm.
But since it was mounted to the top of this building, like the center building, and then all of the other buildings were kind of like carts on a railroad, anyways, and they're all sort of chained together. So everything that was chained to this building would teleport along with it. That's what the notion was.
Yeah.
So, if you want to stop the teleporting from happening, break the rod, and I'll stop it. So, I forget if they ended up actually breaking the rod or if they just went inside and broke the control panels. I think it both ended.
Probably did both, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
And it was also one of those times when I had recently been listening to other D&D podcasts, like Drunks and Dragons, and they're a fun podcast from Geekly Inc. And they there was a thing in 4.0 called a ability challenge or skill challenge.
Skill challenge, yeah.
Where you have to be able to pass a certain number of skill checks and a certain number of rounds.
Which I mentioned in the previous episode.
In order to be able to complete. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to do that, but I don't even know that was sort of like a thing in 3.5. So I was just sort of experimenting and see, okay, is this something I could get done? Because there really wasn't anybody there for you to attack.
No.
All the warforged were ordered to go into their little buildings so they could all get teleported away along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you ended up being able to get into the building, even though it was locked. And you destroyed the control panel. And you ended up finding a coffin in there. And, you killed the guy that claimed to be Mansfield. But then he's like, aha, I'm not actually Mansfield, I'm still inside. And so then the guy you ended up killing, looks really confused.
Yeah.
And then he dies. And it turns out that Mansfield was actually a guy inside of a coffin inside the main control panel room.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just controlling the body of this other little guy. Yeah.
The parasite thing.
No, it was I forget what the spell was called. Like mine, it was gem in a jar or something like that. I forget. Yeah. Mind in a jar, something along those lines.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically it was just the notion that they switched minds and bodies. So,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so yeah, good times have been done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so you were able to end up killing off him, and so then you end up getting control of the all the warforged there.
Oh yeah.
And you took the control panel thing. I ended up calling it an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a interface something. I forget exactly.
Something. There's an acronym for iPad.
Exactly. Yeah. Because references is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh no, too far.
No.
It's hard because you have to rotate, running away from it without running too far is to run it forward.
Who am I?
And falling off to your death. Oh, make it! Oh yes.
Good.
And I think at the end of this platform is the star. Yay!
Good. There's only 2 bars to go. Yeah.
But anyways, that was where we got the symbiote, right?
Dad's
character,
you're right.
yes.
There was like a little symbiotic creature that was on this guy's chest.
Yeah.
That basically was supposed to be there just to enhance his spellcasting abilities. And so the symbiote's like, hey, I don't want to die with this guy. Could I please go with one of you guys? The sorcerer, maybe. You know. Yeah, I could totally help you. I'm legit, you know. I could cast some more spells on your behalf. I could help you, you know, with some knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the drow ended up putting that on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drow that used to be controlled by Franklin.
Yes. But then ended up being controlled by our father.
Yep.
Yeah. Because he the evil character and that one was already generated, so. And already had a history with the warforged, so hey, why not?
So like, hey, old buddies!
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. There's also the castle like that was made.
Yeah.
More than 1,000.
So,
you know.
Yeah, 100 years.
More than 100 years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a basically the story about this castle is that there was a husband and wife who had found the deck of many things, and so they ended up drawing the card that gets you a free keep along with +6 diplomacy.
Oh no!
I think you're gonna die.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
That's a big yes there.
I'm not gonna bother with that star.
Okay.
I don't think so. Try to go back to this level again.
All right.
Anyways, keep going.
So they ended up, you know, they got the keep, and so unfortunately the husband wasn't very bright,
no.
And so he pointed to the nearby mountain and said, "I want it over there. I want my keep to be right over there." Sort of with the intention of it being, like, you know, right at the edge of the mountain, you know, or like, you know, inside the mountain, but like the entrance is still on the front of it, so you can still get to it. No, that's not the way it worked out. It ended up being deep within the mountain. So, he ended up paying some dwarves then in order to carve their way through the mountain into where his keep was.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, what few assistance he might have gotten through, you know, the keep. That would come along with it, you know, like any, you know, stable boy or servants or whatever, you know, they would all have been killed because they were inside a mountain.
Like, dude, you're inside a mountain.
Yeah, they're dead.
Oh well. Well, he's gonna spin around and boom, now I'm safe.
So to speak. Yes.
For now, I think I talked to this guy and he unlocks that thing all the way over where I was trying to get to earlier.
Yeah, where you now?
Yes. I'll fire this cannon all the way over there for you. So now I can use that to jump up and grab some extra stars and stuff with the wing cap. I'm already over here, so
yeah.
I'm going to see what I can do about this. I'm going to jump in here. Now spin me right round, baby, right round.
Yes.
This would have been cool. Is if it could have spun me high enough to get to that star up there.
That would have been delightful.
That would have been delightful, but no, I have to go to this section first.
Exactly. So, they pay the dwarves in order to get to their keep. In the weird campaign, you actually end up seeing the final group of dwarves coming in for their last payment of having done so. And so basically the king and queen say, well, we don't really want to pay them, so how about your group go kill them for us? And of course, you know, they're willing to do anything for money. So they're saying, sure, okay. And so, you know, they kill off the dwarves. And then more dwarves end up showing up again much later.
Yeah.
And in retaliation for, you know, their brothers having been killed. And so they try to storm the place, and of course they get slaughtered because there's an overpowered sorcerer standing in the room.
Yeah.
And they try to pay the Minotaur, to help them. But he ends up taking their gems, standing behind them, and then not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, whatever. And so, in the heat of combat, the Jester appears, and the king and queen end up separating and basically disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as far as the weird campaign is concerned,
yeah,
they're gone. It's like, okay, they've been lost.
I can't break the game by killing them before they're supposed to die.
No.
Exactly. No, sir.
No, do not do that. Right. So they, in the campaign, they actually had, what had happened was that the queen had gone into the keep area that they had spent all this time trying to get to in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And they had actually had a pair of rooms set up magically. They were hidden normally, but they were magically imbued with powers so that one room, each person had to have at least basically the same number of people in it.
This is going to take a little too long to describe.
Yeah.
We'll save it for next time. Until next time, happy gaming!